Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to talk about different questioning strategies when you read. So this week we've read Edwina the emu and Edward the emu. And today you're going to use some of these questioning strategies with our story Edwina the emu. So there's different types of questions that you're going to be asked, whether it's on paper pencil or in discussions, and you need to know how to answer those questions. So we call them the QAR, question, answer, relationship of our stories. So there's three types. The first type of question, which is the easiest ones, are called right there questions. And we say go when we see these right there questions, because these are the types of questions that you can go and find right in the text. You can even put your finger right on those answers. So this would be like, who is the story about? Well, I can go right in the story and see this story is about Edwina. What happened when Edwina tried to get a job? Let's say the ballet job. I can go right in the story and find out that it didn't work out. And I can put my finger on that answer in the page. When did she have to go to the auditions? I can go right into the story and find the page that tells me when she'll arrive. And I can put my finger right on that answer. The same thing for where. Where were Edward and Edwina at? I can look on the very first page and it says they were at the zoo. Boom, find it, put my finger on it. And why? Why was Edwina out looking for a job? Well, we can find that answer right at the very beginning of the story because she had the eggs. So these are the types of questions that the answer is right there in the story. These are the go questions. Go and find it. And we put them in green like the stoplight. Green, go. The next type of questions are called think and search. So these are like our yellow slow down questions. We can't just go and find it. We have to use a little bit of our brain power also. So we call that our schema also. We're going to use what we know and what we saw in the story. So this would be like we're going to summarize the story. We're going to tell you what the story was all about. If I asked you to compare and contrast. So if I said to you today, I want you to compare and contrast, which means the same and different, of Edward the emu and Edwina the emu, you would need to use some of your thinking power and searching in the book for those answers. The next type of question for think and search is retell. Retell is kind of like summarizing. It's where you're going to go back and tell what the story was all about. Another think and search question might be how did Edwina get there? You'd have to look a little bit to find that answer. Sometimes our questions are going to say find examples. That means I need to go back into the text and search for examples. And then what caused something to happen? So I'm going to have to go look in the text and find what caused. Oh, our friend Duke came today to our lesson. He wants to learn some think and search questions. Say hi to the boys and girls today. You're welcome. Lay down here. So these mean that the answer is in the story, but you have to search for it on different pages, Duke. So we have to look in our story for it on different pages. It's not going to be right there, go. I might have to flip back and forth. So these are a little bit harder, but not too bad because I still can look in the story for it. Now the next ones are our stop. So these are going to be a little bit more complicated in our story. These are called author and you. So this means you use your schema. That means information that you already know. And you make an inference, which means using that knowledge in the story to find your answers. Down, please, or go ahead. All right, so author and you is a stop. We're going to stop and think and look deeper. So this would be like our predicting. We predicted when we read Edward and Edwina. We looked at the pictures and said, we think this is going to happen. It also might be where it shows the main idea. Main idea means what's the whole story about. I can't just go and find that on one page. I have to think about what did I read from the beginning to the end of the story, and then put all that together using what I read, inferencing, and my schema in my brain. And the other one would be author's purpose. Why did the author write this story? So our stories this week, the author wrote them to just entertain you with a great story. But sometimes the author wants to persuade us to go do something or give us information and facts. I would have to use what was in the story and what I know in my head to be able to do that. So far we have go questions, right there, find it. Slow down, think a little more and search, and stop. I need to use all my brain power, what's in the book, and put it all together to find the answer. The last types of questions are called on my own. These are where you make a connection to the story. So on the on my own questions, you're going to see a lot of you in the question. Have you ever gone to a zoo and seen an emu? You're going to make that connection. How would you feel? How would you feel if you were told you can't do that job? So you're taking your own feelings and adding it to the story. That's why they're called on my own. Sometimes authors will ask us to finish the story. So that would be an on my own question because I'm going to apply my own opinion. So this time you're going to use your schema. That means things you already know in your brain and tell your opinion. So today we're going to practice using right there questions, think and search questions, and on my own connect questions. So when we're reading, we need to really start to recognize what are these questions asking so we know how to figure out the answers. In the next weeks, we're going to be practicing these QAR, question-answer relationship, questions and strategies more. Refer back to this video as much as needed to help you.